Hey, yo, say hello to the bad guy, Scott Hall, and I've got a scoop for you. And we all know there's a lot of podcasts out there, but I encourage you to check out this one. It's called Going In Raw. You heard it here first. Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course, taped live with the Twitch at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. It's Come Tuesday. Happy Come Tuesday, everybody. Quick reminder, we've sort of been dancing around this a little bit, but now that 2K22 is full on a thing, Larson and I are going to start figuring out when we're going to be doing our big Friendo draft. We figured out that we're going to be doing just like WCW and Fun Wrestling, but they're going to be limited series, 10 episodes and a pay-per-view each. Probably starting with me because I have the game and it's a bit easier. Larson's going to wait until it's on a super sale, maybe. And so, yeah, we're going to be doing our Create a Wrestler series over at Friendo Club TV, but we need your creations. If you have 2K22, I believe Community Creations is cross-platform, so it doesn't matter what you have it on.
But there's one important caveat.
You got to hashtag it Friendo.
Well, also, you got to have a 2K account, right, to make it cross-platform.
I think that's the case. I think you need a 2K account. I believe so. So make sure you hashtag it Friendo, and then you link your 2K account to it. And then, it'll be eligible for the upcoming Friendo draft. It'll be happening sometime within the next couple of weeks, and we'll get a start on these 2K Create a Wrestler series. And then after my series, Larson's going to do his, and after that, we're going to bring back We Book WWE, and that should be a lot of fun. Probably do a 10-episode series of that, too. So a lot of fun stuff with 2K22 coming up on the Friendo Club TV channel. Of course, me and the Enforcer did the first part of my GM over there. We're doing that live on the Twitch every Monday night. But the edited versions of that go on the Friendo Club TV channel. So be sure to go and sub to that channel. And there you go. And there you have it. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw and the huge news about Veer finally coming, Larson. But first, let's talk about this. We haven't seen the almighty Bobby Lashley on WWE TV since he entered what they refer to as concussion protocols. But that's kind of kayfabed. After leaving the Elimination Chamber bout back in early February. Since then, reports have stated that Lashley was written off TV due to a shoulder injury and was expected to miss several months. Yesterday, Fightful Select reported that we might be seeing Lashley soon to take on EMOTES at WrestleMania. And I believe the Wrestling Observer himself had something else to say about that. What did Dave Meltzer have to say?
That is correct, Steve. This is what Dave had to say. Quote, EMOTES is doing the thing where he's asking for a singles match. That's kind of everybody's gimmick this year for WrestleMania, seemingly. Dave continues, he's going to have a singles match against somebody, but right now the guy is Lashley on the list. It could end up being somebody else if Lashley is not cleared. Apparently, that would say that Lashley is not undergoing shoulder surgery, because if he was undergoing shoulder surgery or had surgery, he wouldn't be at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, look, EMOTES is an interesting situation because what are you going to do with him? You know, like he's this with any actual storyline logic, this guy would already be champion. He has
if this was like 15 years ago, probably he probably would be.
That's totally true.
Yeah.
And you know, if this is taken to be like, you know, this guy's just destroying everybody. What's to stop him from showing up and, like, you know, during the middle of a Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar segment and, you know, peacocking him? And then he'd be under the because he destroys everybody. But it's wrestling. He's not ready to be champion, obviously. Who knows if he'll ever be there? But he's got an attraction look to him. He does like 3 moves maybe.
Yeah.
I personally like him on the microphone. I think he's got a lot of camera charisma, and he seems fairly comfortable with the limited stuff they have him do on the mic. That being said, I don't really want him near a title scene or anything, But I guess a match like this is kind of a put up or shut up type moment for Omos at WrestleMania, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would think so too. Lashley, huge name, former champ. If we don't know the situation with Lashley's shoulder, if it's a situation where, he's cleared from concussion protocol, returns for this match, and then they use this match, potentially write him off TV so he can go get shoulder surgery if necessary. But at the same time, if he was hurt enough that he couldn't compete in the chamber match, you wouldn't think they'd bring him back if he weren't 100%, or at least good enough to go. And if potentially he's back already, probably didn't have shoulder surgery then. If he didn't have shoulder surgery, again, you'd hope that he's healthy enough to at least do a 5-minute match with Omos, because it ain't going to go long.
Yeah, I mean, look, let me ask you this. Let's just assume that he's good to go, that he could come back and he could have a 15-minute bout.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure that Lashley's really the guy that you want having 15 minutes on your TV. I love Lashley, but he's a dominator, right? Like, he's a big, mean dude. He's a big, meaty guy. This match, no matter what Lashley's health status is, shouldn't be terribly long in that, like, it'll have few moves, but a lot of meandering about.
Yeah.
A lot of selling.
Yeah.
A lot of, like, posing to the crowd and stuff. Feats of strength.
You need huge shots, punches and kicks and stuff. People preening to the camera, especially if Lashley is the first one to make Omos bump.
Mm-hmm.
That's the deal,
They've set that up. Happen here.
They set that up to be a deal. Like, if this match happens, odds are is to get Omos a huge win. And if Omos is going to win the match, then you at least got to have Lashley make Omos bump for the first time,
Yeah, absolutely.
Give him that at least.
Let me ask you this, because this bugs the crap out of me. I know you're fine with it, but I'm going to task you with getting outside your comfort zone a little bit, all right? The boss upstairs, Larson, doesn't like, and I know you're in charge of dressing Omos for his matches.
Oh, yeah.
He wears slacks and a undershirt.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Boss wants a little bit more razzle dazzle, wants him to look like a pro wrestler. What do you do without making him look like an idiot?
That's tough.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, he's got his gear, and I'm used to it.
Yeah.
I mean, the slacks look never really bothered me.
I can't stand it. But you know me, I like.
But if you put him in, like, you can't put him in trunks now.
You can't.
You can't even put him in tights and pants. It would just be too far of a departure.
That's too pedestrian. I'd give him. You know what I do? I'd do the Malachi combat shorts, like the kickboxing shorts.
Okay.
I'd do that. I don't know what is his moveset? He just throws people around, right?
Yeah, I mean he hits that spin kick sometimes, and he has a back elbow, and then a bunch of power moves. Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah.
That's why the tank top in the slacks don't bother me.
I don't like when Corbin wrestles in his, because I'm like, there's a time and place, man. You're just gonna get all sweaty in your normal clothes, and then you got to put on different normal clothes. I'd tape up his wrists like it's a bare knuckle fight.
I think he does that already.
Does he? Okay, cool. And then I'd have him lose the shirt, show off that meat, and then give him some like boxing trunks, just make him look like a bare knuckle. Man, I saw some video on Twitter the other day of like the finish to a bare knuckle fight.
Oh yeah.
How were those even legal?
Yeah.
These guys were bloody. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's neither here nor there.
No, I can get on board with the kickboxer shorts.
That's what I'm thinking. If we do We Book Raw, maybe I'll put it.
Maybe. I mean, like I said, you had me right. I don't mind what he's wearing now.
Yeah.
Because I don't think a guy of his stature these days, putting them out there in like a singlet, trunks, tights. I don't know. It just kind of makes him look more pedestrian. When you want him to be an attraction, you want to separate him from everybody else who's wearing trunks or tights or singlets and stuff.
Andre wore a singlet. He was the ultimate attraction.
Yeah, I know. That was also 40 years ago.
Yeah, man. What's old is new. So, anyways, yeah. I don't know. Do you like this? Do you like this for a match for him? Omos is gonna win this. Right?
Yeah, I mean, this is all for Omos to get a huge win to kind of kickstart whatever he's going to do next.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're going to start doing something serious with Omos, that it's kind of necessary he gets a huge win at Mania. At the same time, I don't really want it to be Lashley. Like, I don't feel like Lashley should be really losing to many people. And if he's going to lose people, it's got to be, certified top of the card wrestlers.
You know what? Ideally, it would have been, and I know that they're on different brands. It'd have been a Moss versus Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
You put the one guy who you really just it's crap, and then the other guy who's like, I don't know, it's like whatever, he needs a big win, I guess.
Yeah,
and
that makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, it's the bathroom. It'd be the bathroom break match,
yeah.
But then it'd also be short,
But like Corbin could eat a 2-minute loss, a squash loss.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
At the end of the day, not a whole lot of people care about the fortunes of Baron Corbin.
Yeah, true.
I think we're a couple of the few that do. But at the same time, if he took a 2-minute squash loss to Moss, be like, all right, well, that makes sense.
I think Corbin has been like the worst beneficiary of sports entertainment. He's like the most sports entertainment. It's like even more sports entertainment than The Miz.
Yeah.
But I think that Corbin has a really cool moveset. He's a fun wrestler when he's actually given a wrestling match.
Mm-hmm. He can do fun character work.
He can do really good character work.
Just
yeah,
generally given crap to work.
He's always giving crap. All right, let's take a quick break here to get a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. So Larson,
yes,
I'm sure you know that relationships can take a lot of work. Many of us will drop everything and go out of our way to help someone we care about. But how often do we give ourselves that same treatment?
Yeah, several years ago, while dealing with severe anxiety, I learned firsthand how important it is to take care of the most important relationship we have in our lives, the one we have with ourselves. So I started the process of looking for a therapist. But while looking for a therapist, I also learned that it could be extremely difficult to find someone I was comfortable talking to. BetterHelp's online therapy has made that process of finding a therapist more convenient by offering video, phone, and even live chat therapy sessions. And you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours.
Remember that you are your greatest asset, so invest as much time in yourself as you do the others in your life. Check out our sponsor, BetterHelp, and right now, Going In Raw listeners can get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/raw.
That's BETTERHELP.com/raw. And before we get back to the show, let's get a word from our sponsor, Lumen. Hey, Steve.
Yes.
Let's talk skincare.
Okay.
See, I'm sure a lot of friendos out there were once like me. Your skincare routine pretty much consisted of washing your face with the same body wash or soap you use on the rest of your body, and you probably thought, hey, that's good enough. Well, I've got some bad news, unfortunately. That body wash you've been using all these years is actually damaging your skin.
Yeah, that's right. But with Lumen, you can drop that bottle of 3-in-1 and start using products that actually take care of your skin. Lumen's products aim to help with those stubborn acne scars, under-eye dark circles, wrinkles, sun-damaged dry skin, and oily skin. And getting started is easy. All you got to do is take the 2-minute quiz on their website, and they'll tell you which skincare routine is best suited for your needs.
Yeah, I took the quiz and got the anti-fatigue essential set to help with these dark circles I have under my eyes. And with Lumen, I know I'm getting high-quality products made with natural ingredients like licorice root extract, rose flower oil, charcoal powder, ginger, and green tea.
So level up your skincare game with Lumen Skin today. Go to lumenskin.com/raw to get your free trial of Lumen's products.
That's LUMIN skin.com/raw to get your free trial of Lumen's products. lumenskin.com/raw.
Let's talk about Monday Night Raw. Probably, look, there was plenty to appreciate. I feel like there was plenty to appreciate about Raw. We had a killer main event. Mm-hmm. Even the finish I was okay with.
Yeah,
because
that finish made total sense.
It made total sense, and it seemed clear that AJ was probably about to get that win anyway, so it doesn't really matter if Edge, gimmicks it to save Seth a little bit.
Yeah, save face a little bit, and also, let Edge, I'm sure, didn't want to lose the power of who he's going to face at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
From his mountain of omnipotence. He makes these decisions, not Seth, not AJ, certainly not Adam Pearce or Sonya Deville.
Blue Edge's thing is about having the code to be in control.
It's about power, man. Power.
Exactly.
And he's going to wield his power, and he's going to decide who he faces at WrestleMania. But in the course of this story with Seth last night, where he's essentially trying to, what he did last week with Kevin Owens, do to other people. He's trying to find ways to take matches from other people at WrestleMania. This time he set his sights on AJ Styles. And the process of which he comes out to the ring and the the crowd starts chanting, Cody, Cody, Cody. And he says, rumors, I'm paraphrasing, rumors may be fun, but they don't make WrestleMania moments.
Yeah.
Acknowledging
the
rumors about him taking on Cody at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Of course, this is just the latest in a long string of references to Cody that has been going on WBTV for the last, 3 weeks.
Yeah, there's clearly a difference here in that the character is acknowledging. I feel like all the other ones were like, I don't know how you would put it, happened like a fun happenstance within the fictional universe that people are not doing on purpose. The writers obviously are, but the characters aren't. Like that weird sort of writer thing. But this is actually a character responding to the name Cody.
Yes. Acknowledging the reports that exist outside of the universe
Larson,
they're living in. What?
Larson, we've got 2 weeks left till WrestleMania. We are going to wring this Cody shit to every little ounce we can.
We have. For more than a month.
might do. So like in the thumbnail, I know, we're going to keep doing it. The thumbnail, I'm going to have like Seth, it's going to be acknowledges Cody. I might have like a Spectre Cody hovering.
Oh, that's good. Like a Force Ghost Cody.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be good.
We'll see. I don't know. But yeah. I mean, look.
Well, how about you have Seth in the foreground and like Cody in all his various guises behind him? You could have
Seth haunted
Stardust. You could have Dashing Cody Rhodes. You could have American Nightmare. You could have that one time he came back to AEW with the dark hair.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah,
the reference to Superman Returns. He said, I don't know.
That's good. I like that. No, that's all. The Wrestle Kingdom Cody, where he has one tiny Bullet Club logo.
Yeah, there you go. I was even half expecting at the end of the show last night when Seth was throwing his tantrum after losing via DQ, because there was time left after he got on the announce table, said this is BS. Next week Raw doesn't happen unless I get my Mania moment. And you hear there's more than one royal family in professional wrestling. Cody comes out just for a moment. And you just have that moment where he's looking at Seth's looking at him, and then you go off air then,
Ooh, we got to go. Robin Hood's on next.
Yeah, cliffhanger like that.
Yeah, and then go to social media to find out what happened after.
Probably. So, because here's the thing now, like Adam Pearce said to Seth, this is your last chance to get on the Mania card. And I know Seth says essentially, I'm going to grind Raw to a halt next week, unless I get what I want. Give me what I want.
Yeah.
So I guess they have a week to find out motivation to give Seth some time at WrestleMania. But I'm still wondering how they're going to get there.
Well, look,
let's say they don't have avenues. They do, obviously, but
there's precedence for somebody literally taking a show hostage and getting what they want.
Yeah.
That's happened before.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan did that.
Ages ago. It's how Mankind got his title shot, the 91. I think he threatened to kill Shane or something in the middle of the ring, or a ref or something. I forget what it was. But yeah, I mean, he could, if that's what he's claiming to do, I'm going to make sure the show does not happen unless I get what I want. And then he does that, and he makes sure the show doesn't happen. He goes in the production truck, and, they start airing Pacific Blue or something instead.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
A special presentation from Seth freaking Rollins, Pacific Blue.
You get 3 hours of Pacific Blue with a rerun of Silk Stockings afterwards.
Do we get the episode where Shawn Michaels is looking through the binoculars?
Yeah, you get that for 3 hours.
Puts the sunglasses on. Remember that time we had the Mandela effect of one of us thought it was binoculars and the other one thought it was sunglasses?
Yeah.
It turned out it was both. Anyways, I think, or they can come to him and say, hey, we have your opponent for WrestleMania. We've heard you loud and clear. You've put on 2 killer matches. Or last week wasn't, we wanted to give you a fair shot. And Edge clearly ruined your fair shot. We have found you an opponent for WrestleMania. Find out who, while the crowd is blaring Cody, find out who he is at WrestleMania. And you have your big WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, I know. That's probably how they're going to do it. Just something like that. Hey,
I mean, that Edge finish totally. The fact that we got a full Raw preview means they know where they're going for these next couple episodes of
you would hope so.
of TV.
You would hope so.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they could totally change it and everything. But I feel like it's kind of, I don't know. Wasn't there like one of the last couple of years, like literally the week before WrestleMania, we were like, what are half the matches going to be? I feel like at least this year, we know like what the majority of these matches are.
They've all been made, announced, and whatnot. Yeah. Apparently, except for Omos's match.
Mm-hmm. Beyond Cody Rhodes acknowledging the existence of Seth Rollins acknowledging the existence of Cody Rhodes rumors. We have a firm date on when Veer will come.
Yes,
Larson.
Yes, Raw after Mania. He's coming.
Yeah, Raw after Mania.
Yeah,
that makes it already one of the most impactful Raws after Mania in quite some time, maybe even ever.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly have built up a good amount of anticipation for Veer's coming to Raw, and I'm happy they announced it. Hopefully this is another Emelina situation where he shows up and then they're like, okay, we're not going to do whatever we're going to do, and then back to the drawing board. I don't think it is. But that'd be lame, because everything I've seen of Veer prior to him getting drafted to Raw, I was really into. I think the dude's got a ton of upside. Granted, small sample size based on what we saw before. I want to check out his main event matches he's been having, and hopefully they got something planned for him, and give him a decent push, because again, I think the dude's got a lot of upside.
Yeah, I agree. The Emelina thing, I like to think was, I mean, we can look back at all the long, vignettes that were running in advance of wrestlers' debuts. Emelina was kind of a unique situation because seemingly she just wasn't panning out when it came to that specific character in sort of practice runs. And so they were like, yeah, no, we're not going to do it. She didn't want to do it, and they didn't want to do it, and nobody wanted to do it. So they just made a gag out of it. He's been tweeting a little bit lately, and that's sort of where, because if you tweet wrong, you'll end up like Brodus Clay, in which you're given just a straight up comedy gimmick. So maybe that is like a possibility, but I hope not. I hope that we're over that kind of shit. It's stupid. You've been building up anticipation. Nobody wants to see this as a gag.
No, do something impactful.
The guy has a great look. He has an awesome voice, because you can hear it on these vignettes. Again, like you said, I want to check out some of those main event matches just to see what he brings to the table in the ring. And hopefully, they give him everything he needs to succeed. And that's what WWE really needs to do more of giving people breathing room to succeed and opportunities, and then seeing if they can run with it. Another guy who's going to get an opportunity pretty soon, Gable Steveson. They mentioned him, of course, last night, back-to-back NCAA championships in wrestling, put his boots down on the mat to symbolize his retirement, on his way to the WWE.
Yeah.
I don't know if Raw after Mania is too soon for him, or if they're going to build him up with some more vignettes.
I mean, he's already said he's going to be at Mania.
That's true. That. Yeah, he did say that.
I would not be surprised if in some capacity he's involved in some physicality. I don't know, again, what capacity, but I would not be shocked if that were to happen.
What do you think the best way to debut Gable Steveson would be? Would you give him a little bit of personality? Would you just put him out there with a mic and see if he can do something, or give him something to chew on? What would you do?
Well, you got to give him something to chew on. Otherwise, if you just put him out there with a mic in his hand, you got to give him something, like a character, something that he has, so he knows his motivation for what he does. Without that, especially with not a whole lot of experience, there's nothing for him to fall back on.
Would you try a Kurt Angle approach where you give him the arrogance thing?
I don't know, because I don't know what he has to work with from a character personality perspective.
The Brock Lesnar thing where he's just a wrecking machine?
I mean, I think if they have any concerns about his ability to cut a promo, then yeah, you pair him with somebody that can handle a lot of the promo work early on, and just have him go out there and beat people up. And then maybe in the process of working with that individual, doing the promos, he can learn. And then as time goes, he can start handling more of that load until, maybe at a certain point we get a good back and forth between, manager and himself. But again, without knowing what he has to offer in that capacity, it's hard to tell.
Jonathan here in our chat has a good idea. Gable Steveson will be another Sheamus drinking buddy.
Someone else they've
these
known
guys
since their pub days. Yes,
since the pub days of yore.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be anything gimmicky, like nothing goofy. Obviously,
I've seen some people chat or mention put him in Alpha Academy.
See, that's somebody here mentioned in chat. Put him with Chad Gable. Look, I like Alpha Academy a lot, but I feel like in a similar respect, they have an opportunity here. They have an opportunity here to potentially have sort of a mix of Brock and Kurt Angle. I think that if done right, and he connects with the crowd on that level, that's what you should aim for. And if it fails, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's fine. But aim high.
Yeah, totally.
Shoot for the moon.
Totally.
And then go from there. Cable Family Office. There you go. Steveson Family Office. So I don't know. I think you put him. You have him show up in some street clothes, some nice attire, and with some cool sunglasses on, some blenders, and then boom, have him talk some shit or something. I don't know.
And then lay some people out.
Lace, that honestly, you want to do something, just do something cool like that. Have them fuck some people up.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing you could do, is just have him fuck people up.
Especially if he's got like good offense, interesting offense. Find some way to kind of marry his amateur background with pro wrestling stuff in an interesting manner.
Yeah. Put him in. Here's the thing. Who's the biggest face that WWE has right now? On Raw. Who's like somebody everybody loves? Like everybody loves Finn.
AJ. Right now it's AJ.
People love AJ. Yeah, people love AJ. How about this? Raw after Mania, Gable's Stevenson's in the crowd, right? He's like, he's scouting what's going on. He's got his entourage with him. Edge, fresh off a win or loss or whatever is going to happen at WrestleMania, is pissed off. So maybe he lost at Mania, and he finds a way to sneak attack AJ. And he's brutalizing him. Gable Steveson hops the barricade, gets in there, and saves AJ. You set up Edge versus Gable Steveson for his first thing. Blue Edge versus Gable Steveson.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's a big opponent for.
That is a major opponent. That's pretty huge. Your first feud against a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
that's pretty massive.
Yeah, it could work.
It's pretty massive. Anyways,
give him something big to chew on, man.
Yeah, sure. Let's take a break here to get a word from our sponsor, Blenders. Fresh from the sandy beaches of San Diego, California, comes the only sunglasses brand I'm ever going to wear again. I'm talking about Blenders Eyewear, and you're going to be just as hooked when you witness how awesome they are. I got myself a pair of Ice Crush shades. Those sound really cool, don't they? And they're my go-to sunglasses to wear when I'm out on my morning walks or out running errands.
Blender's team of in-house designers are always coming up with new styles too, like orange polarized wraparounds, tortoise shell frames with purple lenses, to classic gold arms on black lenses.
And unlike expensive big brand shades, Blenders are actually affordable and still offer the same cool factor as other leading styles, and they've got more than sunglasses. Blenders offers prescription glasses, readers, and blue lights, as well as a snow collection with goggles and accessories. So live life in forward motion with Blenders today.
To score 15% off your Blenders purchase, visit blenderseyewear.com and enter promo code RAWVIP. That's blenderseyewear.com, code RAWVIP for 15% off. Blenders, rocked with pride worldwide. And before we get back to the show, let's get a word in from our sponsor, Chime. So Larson.
Yeah.
We may be 3 months into the new year, but that doesn't mean we can't all make a change for the better in the 2022. And what better way to make a change than by getting yourself a better checking account with no monthly fees?
Yeah, fee-free 2022 sounds great, Steve. And with Chime, an award-winning app and debit cards, you'll get no overdraft fees, no foreign transaction fees, no monthly fees or service fees. You can also send money to anyone, even if they aren't on Chime. It's fee-free for you and no cash-out fees for them.
And with over 60,000 fee-free in-network ATMs, including at most Walgreens, 7-Eleven, and CVS locations, you can get your money when you need it, where you need it.
So make your first good decision of the new year and join over 10 million people using Chime. Sign up takes only 2 minutes and does not affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/raw. That's chime.com/raw.
Banking services provided by and debit card issued by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank N.A. members FDIC. Get fee-free transactions at any MoneyPass ATM in a 7-Eleven location and at any Allpoint or Visa Plus Alliance ATM. Otherwise, out-of-network ATM withdrawal fees may apply. Sometimes pay anyone instant transfers can be delayed. The recipient must use a valid debit card or be a Chime member to claim funds.
I guess we can get into it. Show starts off with Stone Cold music. Glass breaks. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Of course, the Chicago crowd.
Sadly, it's not the Disturbed version.
I know you're really into that. I'm sorry, Steve. It wasn't that one. It probably disappointed you. But I doubt we're going to hear that during Stone Cold's career.
I was not happy about that. I like my Disturbed theme song, Glass Breaks.
Yeah. So the crowd understandably goes crazy in Chicago. Then out comes Kevin Owens. He's got a bald cap on.
That sucked.
He had an Austin 316 shirt on, the jorts, the knee braces, the boots. And he comes out and he cuts a promo as Stone Cold. But he didn't even bother trying to do like a Stone Cold impression.
He had kind of like some inflection.
Maybe.
But
just during the catchphrases, but that was it.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Yeah.
So he comes out and says, Chicago, if you're ready to see me to open a can of whoop ass on Kevin Owens at Mania, give me a hell yeah. And then he just starts whatting. What?
He starts whatting the crowd.
What?
Oh, it was pretty great.
He says, I've heard all the things that Kevin Owens has said about my home state of Texas, but let's be honest, they're all true. So when Kevin Owens invited me to be his guest on the KO show, you saw the horrible video I made. I drove out to the middle of nowhere and pretended to be a badass, and I didn't know what I was going to do. So I just did what I always did, and that was run my mealy mouth and accept Kevin Owens' invite without thinking. At this stage of my life, the lights are on, but is anybody at home?
He said, I got out in front of my stupid little golf cart.
Yeah. He says, now here we are. I'm going to Mania to the Kevin Owens show, and crowd starts chanting, we want Austin. And Kevin Owens calls them all stupid sons of bitches. And then Stone Cold's music hits again. And Owens did a great job of selling this. He was deep shit.
Oh, man. And then he just starts laughing at them because
great.
They bought it again. And he says, what do they say? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Shame on fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, still shame on you because you bought it.
Yeah, it was great. And he says, calls the crowd a bunch of idiots for falling for it, and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. Says now the only thing left to do is drink some beer and get some liquid courage before Kevin Owens gives me the ass beating of a lifetime. So he asks for some beers, and he's not catching a single one of them.
No, man.
They're hitting him right in his paws, and he's just dropping them all. So he tells production truck, stop the music, and he says, hey, stagehand, where'd you learn how to throw beer? Because you suck. Come in the ring and hand me the beer. And so he hands him one of Stone Cold's American lagers.
I love it, too, because the stagehand does a good job, because clearly it's an indie wrestler.
Yeah.
But he does a really piss-poor job actually just getting into the ring. And he says, that's a weird way to get in the ring, but whatever, come here.
Yeah. And so he hands the beer. Kevin Owens says, good job. Now get out of the ring. Before he can get out of the ring, he grabs by the shoulder, turns around, bang, stunner, cracks open a couple of beers, cheers them, pours them over the stage hand's head.
Stagehand did a decent impersonation of a Scott Hall stunner sell. He went up high and then just flat back, no bounce after that.
Yeah.
After that, we had a Seth Rollins interview, asked what is his state of mind knowing he's not going to go to Mania. He laughs, and then he says, I'm going to borrow this, and he grabs the microphone, and he walks out. And then we had Rey and Dom Mysterio versus the Dirty Dogs, including, of course, NXT champion Dolph Ziggler, who's going to be on NXT 2.0 tonight, probably.
Yeah, Bob Roode's taking on Braun Breaker tonight.
Yeah! Get Bob Roode! Yeah!
So anyways, this match is happening. Ray and Dom said Dirty Dogs out of the ring, hit him with suicide dives, and Seth Rollins comes out. And he says, this show doesn't move a second till the world hears what I have to say. I want a Mania spot, and I'm going to get it. And I don't want just any spot. I want a spot on Mania that's going to live forever. And his mic starts cutting out. He starts doing the thing where he's hitting the mic. And he says, I came for Austin last week, but this week I want... His mic cuts out again. He's banging on it. Raw rolls on. Come back. Match just resumes. In the end, Dom Hits Bob Roode with a 619 frog splash to get the win. As soon as the match is over, Dolph super kicks Dom. And then Ray chases after him on the floor. Miz, who was sitting on commentary, pushes Ray into the apron and then hits the skull-crushing finale on the floor and then rips off his mask.
Ooh, yeah, that was gnarly. Before we see more of what he does with that mask and his intentions, we have Seth Rollins backstage talking to Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville. He says, I get it, you guys want to silence me, but I want the biggest spotlight at WrestleMania. Doesn't matter, main event, night 1 or night 2, give it to me. And Pearce says, disrupting the show's not going to get you what you want. And Seth says, fine, what is? Relying on you, a couple of knuckleheads? Is that what it's going to get me what I want? Sonya says, we get it. But listen, we gave you a chance last week and you failed. Pearce says, look, let us just look at it and maybe there's something we can do. Seth says, oh, there's something you could do. Okay. And he starts laughing and he walks off.
Yeah. Then we got Miz backstage on the phone. He's talking to Maurice about how Ray's mask came off easier than he thought. Kevin Patrick walks up for an interview, and he asks Miz, why'd you take Ray's mask? Miz says Logan Paul was a huge Ray fan as a kid. All that he wanted was a mask just like Ray. But as the saying goes, never meet your heroes. Now that Logan knows what kind of jerk Ray is, he knows that Dom is even worse, and that the Mysterios have gone out of the way to try to humiliate him. He didn't just try to humiliate him. He did humiliate the Mysterios tonight. And he looks at camera and tells Logan, this mask is all yours, and I dare you to wear it next week on Raw.
I did not expect there to be a Shakespearean reference here with The Miz.
Doing some Hamlet,
That was very clever. Yeah. To humiliate or not to humiliate?
To humiliate.
I thought, every once in a while, Miz just nails it, and this is such a small thing, but he fucking nailed this little bit right here. I was like, God damn, Miz is really good right here.
He can be. He can be really good.
He can be. He absolutely can be. After that, we had Amos versus Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz. He gets to pin them both here at the same time. Gets a big head kick on Aziz, and he hits Crews with the choke bomb. Gets that win there, grabs the mic.
Says, it doesn't matter. He stacks them.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. He stacks
even though Crews and Aziz attacked him before the bell.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty dominant here. He says it doesn't matter how big they are. Doesn't matter how many of them there are. I'm unstoppable. Anybody who has the balls to step up to me, whether it's on Raw or at Mania, they're going to be dominated. Which is one guy who uses a dominator.
Yeah, that's Bob Lashley. That used to be his finisher. Then we got AJ Styles. He comes to the ring. He says, for the past 2 weeks, I've been at home nursing an injury with nothing but time on my hands, and if you have enough of that, time can be a dangerous thing. He says, I must have watched the clip of what Edge did to me over and over to the point where I thought I was going crazy. Don't want to be around anybody. Don't want to be around his family. He just wanted to be alone. And lo and behold, who pops on the TV but Edge with his mood lighting and spewing out nonsense as to why. But the truth is, AJ says, I don't care. I'm not here to ask why. I'm not here to get answers. I'm here to kick Edge's teeth down his throat. Edge, you wanted the pit bull. You got him. But let's not wait till Mania. Be a man and come out. So there's no Edge.
No blue Edge.
No blue Edge. AJ says, coward. Instead, Seth Rollins makes his way to the ring. Crowd's chanting Cody. This is where Seth says, rumors are a lot of fun, but rumors don't make moments, and I'm living for my Mania moment. And AJ tells Seth, cut the crap. What do you want?
What do you want?
Seth says, I'm out here because I'm concerned about your health and safety. Are you physically or emotionally capable of fighting Edge at WrestleMania after what Edge did to you? So I got a proposition for you. Go home to your family, get back to 100%, and come back after Mania and let me do what I should have done inside Hell in a Cell and Edge's career once and for all, because that's a moment befitting Seth Rollins. Think about it.
Seth is so good. And I'll be honest, one of the reasons why Raw was decent last night is there was a lot of Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And he is so fucking good these days.
He is.
He is so damn good.
Remember that time when he was babyface, he didn't know who he was?
Oh, man, he needs something.
He knows this character inside and out.
Yeah. When he nails it, he nails it. When he knows what he's doing, he is better than maybe anybody.
Yeah,
he's doing so damn good.
Phenomenal work right now. So AJ says, as long as I'm able to walk, I'll be at WrestleMania to face Edge. And Seth goes, oh. So let's say for some unfortunate reason,
as you're able to walk.
Yeah, you get taken out, then I can have your Mania spot. And AJ says, oh, I see what you're doing. You're doing to me what you did to Kevin Owens last week. And Seth says, that sounds like a good idea to me. I'm running out of options, man. That's when desperation really kicks in his voice. So AJ says to Seth, you come out here dressed like an idiot. You think I'm going to get my Mania opportunity. I'm going to do what you couldn't do, Seth. I'm going to destroy Edge, and I'll get back to you after WrestleMania. And so they're interrupted by Pierce and Sonya Deville.
These two in kayfabe are the worst general managers, man. They're so bad.
Terrible. You have a potential dream match on the Mania card. You're willing to risk that to give us Edge versus Seth for the 10th time in the last year.
2 weeks in a row they've done this.
I know. They're terrible at their job.
Stone Cold is calling out Kevin Owens, not Seth Rollins. Yep. What would Stone Cold care about Seth Rollins?
Wouldn't care. I'll tell you that much. Wouldn't care. So Pierce says Seth has been waiting to get a chance to earn that Mania moment. So if he can defeat AJ tonight, he will replace him at WrestleMania. Doesn't make a lick of sense.
Doesn't make any sense. Well, I mean, look, it gives us a killer main event, and that's awesome. But in terms of like logic, these two are terrible at their jobs.
They really are. I mean, the amount of time and money that WWE has already spent on promoting these matches that have been booked.
Yeah.
And then just on a whim.
Yeah.
They're going to throw that away. Makes no sense. No sense.
So Carmella's backstage on her phone. Look, this is basically the bottom line is this. Zelina Vega's upset because Carmella's spending more time focused on her reality show and her phone,
wedding,
and her wedding than their tag titles. She needs to get her shit together. They're not happy about it. They fight, and the producers come in to break it up.
Yeah. So then AJ storms into Adam Pearce, Sonya's office. He's like, what are you doing? You're risking my Mania match because Seth is out there crying. It says, Adam Pearce, you suck at your job. He turns to Sonya and says, and I haven't heard good things about you either. He says, that's fine. I'll go out and do it myself. I'll beat Seth, and I'll get my WrestleMania moment.
Yeah. After that, we had Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley versus Natalya and Shayna Baszler. Of course, they're all going to be participating in that big fatal four-way at Mania for the tag titles. Mella comes to ringside. She's complaining to Corey about what Zelina did. We get the match, heart attack for Natalya and Shayna on who is probably Liv, right? Yeah, Liv for the win. Zelina hits the ring, blasts Rhea with her scepter. Mella pushes Shayna into the apron, rams Natty into the ring steps, gets a super kick on Shayna, gets in the ring. Both of them do, Mella and Zelina. They sort of look at each other, and the crowd's like, oh, fight, fight, fight. And they just start smiling, and they hug, and they hold their titles up. So a little bit of subterfuge this week.
Yeah. Or maybe it's a situation where they were at odds, and then they realize, oh, when we're in here in the ring together, we still work.
That could be as well, yeah.
You know, so hey, let's
ambiguity.
Carry on. Exactly. Yeah. Then we got a Becky Lynch promo. This was really good. She says, there's a question I ask myself a lot. What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? It says, first, you got to ask yourself what it means to gain the world. And a lot of different people will have a lot of different answers. But she says the answer that I found it 8 months ago when I first faced Bianca at SummerSlam. She says, but I'll get back to that. But it was 15 long months that she went without holding the Raw Women's title. And it's not because anyone was able to beat her for nearly 3 years. It says every day that went by, it grew more painful and agonizing. And when it came time, she knew she'd do whatever it took to get it back. She called it her precious.
Precious.
Says, so what does it profit a man? It profits him this. The only thing that matters inside and outside these ropes, this being the title, it is everything I am, and she is power, and I am power, I am glory. The title is, I think, no, she is. She says, I am power, I am glory, and I am the prize at the top of the mountain. My apologies. Sometimes I can't even understand my own notes. She says, this is my world, and when I came back, all the fans chose Bianca over me, and that's when I knew that I would sell my soul to keep the title. She says, Bianca, you don't have what it takes to beat me. You could use your hair, you could scar my body, you can crush my throat, but I'll crush yours worse. And she says, Bianca, you didn't mean to damage my throat, but I meant to injure you. And says last week, she said that this week that I was coming for your hair, Bianca, but you're not here. Maybe that's because I put you in the hospital. Or maybe because you know that if I take the thing that means the most to you, your hair, your identity, that you'll lose a piece of your soul. And she says, Bianca, you don't want to lose your soul. I've already sold mine, and I'd do it every day of the week and twice on Monday if it means keeping the title on my shoulder. So, Bianca, what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? I'll show you, and I'll show the rest of the world at WrestleMania if you make it.
Yep.
Solid stuff.
Yeah, it was okay. I don't know. I just don't know if I like. I don't know. Trying to get people to boo Becky has been a task.
It has been. It's been an uphill battle, that's for sure.
I think the effort put into this was really good.
Yeah,
it was really solid. It was a bit long. It was a bit wordy, and I just it's the meat of it. The meat of the feud has been fans don't want to boo Becky.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. That is a problem.
And I feel like in this case, like words matter a lot less than actions.
Yeah, I know. And there's been, I know part of it is because Becky was actually injured, but there has been not a whole lot of action right now.
Like last week was effective because it was Bianca getting lit up, right?
Yeah.
But Becky looks like that freaking outfit she was wearing. She looks really cool.
Yeah, she does.
But yeah, this is going to be a really good match, and it's going to be an awesome moment for Bianca. And that's sort of what matters here. As long as they're not doing a tug of war for the title like they did with Lesnar and Brock 5 years ago.
Yeah, no,
it's all good. After that, we had an Austin Theory interview. He says he's asked about McAfee. He says, I don't care if McAfee's apology was sincere or not. He's a dumb jock. He says, but he finally did something smart. He apologized and didn't lose his job. He says, sure, Pat had a great NFL career, but he's got no business stepping in the ring with me. He says, you better be careful because I'm going to beat Pat in Mania. But when it comes to my mentor, Mr. McMahon, if he goes to talk to him, he says, if I go talk to him, Pat might not have a job as a commentator anymore. He's asked how is he prepared for his match tonight. He's like, man, I've got so many selfies of Finn on my phone. I'm running out of storage, but I'm going to make an exception tonight. Just got enough space for one more selfie with Finn and my road to WrestleMania. And then we get that Veer is coming April 4th.
Yeah, get excited. Get hyped.
Yeah, very excited.
So then we had Austin Theory versus Finn Balor. Pat McAfee comes out to join the commentary team. And this entire bout, it's Pat being really excitable about wrestling at WrestleMania, talking crap about Austin Theory, and doing everything he can to cost Austin Theory this match, short of touching him.
This was hilarious.
It was pretty funny because he'd go and get on the apron, interfere, start slamming on the apron, and then when Theory would turn around, he'd talk some crap, run back to commentary, and start doing that again. And he'd talk crap to Corey, and Corey would talk crap back to him. Corey's like, I don't want you to get fired. I can't do double duty anymore.
Does anybody have a worse crotch chop than Pat McAfee?
It was pretty bad.
This is worse than when X-Pac used to do it.
I know.
It was like part DX, part gorilla, because his arms are up here and he's doing this crotch chop. But it was absolutely hilarious.
It was funny.
I like this quite a bit, and him really getting under Austin Theory's skin was a lot of fun. And sure enough, Finn ends up getting Austin Theory with the roll-up to get the win here. I mean, it took a lot of distracting.
It took a ton of distractions. Ton.
Yeah, but it got the job done. Finn gets that win over Austin Theory. No selfie for Austin Theory.
Nope. Then we got RK Bro versus Alpha Academy before the match. Gable had a promo. And just kind of says what you did last week, RK Bro, not giving us our immediate rematch. Was wrong. We got retribution for that, and they really screwed things up, making it a triple threat. Now their odds of winning drastic go down. Nonetheless, we will prevail. But RK Bro, they get the win here. Riddle hits Gable with a running knee, a Bro Derek to get the win. As soon as the match is over, Otis lays them both out. He's looking for a Vader bomb. Street Profits run in. They push him over the top rope. Hit Gable with a wheelbarrow DDT. Then they help Riddle up. But then Dawkins hits him with a spine buster.
Yeah.
Ford follows with a frog splash. I like this from the Street Profits. They had some cool looking Bulls inspired.
Bulls gear on, yeah,
basketball jerseys.
I know
cool.
This is kind of what I'm looking for here, man. Yeah, I like that moment where they help Riddle up and they think that they're bros, and nope, spine buster splash. That was good.
It was good.
We got a segment from Reggie and Dana from last week. Involving they're about to kiss. Tozawa shows up.
It's just more of the same kind of madcap stuff.
Tamina's there. Exactly. They get away. Then we had an actual match, Dana Brooke and Reggie versus Akira Tozawa and Tamina. We had a promo where Tamina says, yeah, I have some feelings for you too, Tozawa. She says, but I want that 24/7 title. So I want what you want, the 24/7 title. And then they start off with a game of chicken, where Dana gets on Reggie's shoulders, and then the idea is Tozawa's supposed to put Tamina on his shoulders, but because of the size discrepancy, they flip it, and he gets on Dana's shoulders. So they do a little game of chicken there. Both contestants fall off the shoulders of their partners. Dana hits them both with a back elbow. Akira falls. Tamina falls. She's in the corner and she sort of whips back and falls down onto Tozawa's front area.
Yeah.
For the dick headbutt pratfall situation.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, and then he can't walk, so she puts him over her shoulder as they walk out. And Reggie ends up getting the win because of all that stuff.
Yeah. Then we got our main event, AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. So about halfway through the match, Seth is really getting AJ's face. He's like, I like you. I like you, AJ, but I need this. And this seemingly unlocks the pit bull within AJ. And he starts slapping Seth. Seth starts slapping him back. AJ just unleashes a series of strikes. Hits a sliding forearm, corner clothesline. Ushigoroshi gets him a 2 count. So he's looking for a Styles clash. Seth counters with a roll-up, gets a 2. AJ hits him with a face buster. Looking for another Styles clash. Seth escapes that. Hits a rolling elbow. Falcon Arrow to get a 2. So then AJ hits a torture rack bomb. Sets up phenomenal forearm. Instead, he leaps right into a super kick. Seth follows with a buckle bomb. He's looking for a frog splash. AJ gets the knees up. Looking for a phenomenal form, and that's when Edge comes down the ramp, blasts him from behind with a chair. So AJ gets the win via DQ, and Seth absolutely loses his shit. He is upset, so he asks for the mic.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, he stands at the announce table, says, "This is bullshit."
Why don't they just let him say it?
I know. Well, thing is, after he said it when he was on the mic, when the camera audio picked it up for the first time, they got through.
Maybe they were like, "Oh, you get one of those."
Maybe. Well, give him the one when he's on the mic.
I know. I agree.
And that's when he says, Raw's not going to happen next week until I get my WrestleMania moment. He starts tearing. He turns over the announce table. He rips one of the ring post covers off. He kicks down the barricade.
Oh, that was cool. That was really, I thought it was a really effective finish there. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, it was good.
We've got some questions here on the Patreon. Patreon.com/Stephen Larson. If you can't make the show, sign up on the Patreon, and you can just leave a message on the questions thread. I usually post it during the show, sometimes morning of our recap, and we'll read it here on the air. If it's something that we haven't really talked about all that much, sometimes we skip some of these because we've already talked about it. Let's see here. Soken Rose asks, what would you rather have for the Owens-Austin confrontation? An ordinary talk show, a brawl into the crowd, or a Mitch? I'll be honest with you. I'd like to see a match. Get a ref down here so I can whoop his ass.
For me, it kind of depends. It depends on what Austin thinks he can get out of it. Now, if he's comfortable having a match and thinks it won't tarnish his legacy, which is obviously something that's very important to him, then sure, do the match. If he's concerned anyway that he can't deliver to a level that he is accustomed to or wants to, then just do a brawl. I mean, we're going to get some physicality, some extended physicality. It's just not going to be talk show, bang, stunner. There's going to be more to it than that.
Yeah.
So if he wants to kind of cover all his bases and they just have an extended brawl and you don't have to worry about necessarily telling a story, taking a lot of bumps, anything like that, then don't do the match.
Impromptu match. Let's get a ref down here. Referee Phil McDonald.
Or maybe it's a situation where there's an extended brawl, then get the referee out.
Yeah.
Middle fingers. Bang,
Fuck
stunner.
it. Do it all. A half-hour segment, you do a talk show bit, it escalates into a brawl, and they're like, fine, fuck it. Get a ref down here. Let's do it.
Bang, stunner.
Bang, stunner. Chili McFreeze.
Yeah. Solid Nana with the sub. Thank you.
Let's see here. Xavier Gray says, will Becky Lynch drop the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania 38 or not?
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yep.
M. Stevens, are we going to get Finn versus Priest in a no DQ match? I swore that they had announced that. I don't recall them announcing it.
Why is Finn just part of Austin Theory, Pat McAfee's story?
I know.
Like this U.S. title. Yeah, I get the feeling we're going to get Finn versus Priest in the kickoff at Mania. That's my guess.
I don't believe they've announced anything official for that. They have not. So far, there's 5 confirmed matches for day 1 and 6 for day 2.
Wow.
But of course, that doesn't
But the mid-card titles nothing's been announced for either mid-card title, huh?
So you got to, assuming Amos gets his Mania match, I'm guessing that'll be night 1 to fill out that card. So it'll be 6 and 6 in each mid-card
Seth,
title.
put Seth on there. Seth versus Cody.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could be up to 8 per night.
Yep. Couple of long nights.
Yep.
Let's see here. Kenny T. Rank the WWE horsewomen from best to least best. I don't like saying from best to worst. Let's do this. What in terms of your gut, what your gut tells you their going in Raw math scores would be.
All right, that's good. That's good.
From least to biggest, most. From least to most.
I feel pretty confident saying Becky would be tops.
Very high in-ring, high promo, high look, high legacy.
High kayfabe.
Sasha, and yeah, high kayfabe. Sasha, not quite as high kayfabe, but still high kayfabe.
Yeah, she's what, a 6-time women's champ.
Not as high promo.
But presentation and in-ring is just as good.
In-ring and presentation are both huge.
Yeah.
I think they all kind of offset each other, don't they? Like, Charlotte's the highest kayfabe.
Yeah.
She's like insane high kayfabe.
Yeah.
Legacy, I mean, that's going to be high. It's going to be high for all of them.
Yeah.
Bayley probably, which to me, I think Bayley's probably my own personal top in ring. It's like her, Sasha, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Bayley would probably be lowest. My gut says it's going to be Bayley. Becky would probably be tops. It'd be Becky, probably Becky, Sasha, Charlotte, Bayley.
Yeah, but the difference between 1 and 4
Minimal.
is not going to be that vast.
I think the difference between 2 and 3 would be minimal.
Yeah, I think even the difference between 1 and 4 would maybe be tenths of a point.
I think you're probably right. Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Shane's birthday tweet in kayfabe. How was Owens able to get the production truck to play Austin's theme not once but twice? Money. Pay somebody off.
Little payola. Little payola. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, here we go. Nikyle says, power rank list of heels that have go away heat with you. So the most go away heat.
Eddie Dennis for me.
He's not on this list.
Oh, sorry.
Should we put him on this list? Because here's the list.
Sure.
Happy Corbin.
All right.
Amos.
All right.
Dan Lambert.
Yeah.
Grayson Waller. House of Torture.
So right now, tops, so most go away heat is, of course, Dan Lambert.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Then it's House of Torture.
Wow. Okay.
Who else is on there?
Grayson, Amos, and Corbin.
So it'd be Corbin, and then Amos and Waller. At least, like I don't feel like I have go away heat with either Amos or Grayson Waller.
All right. Mine's going to differ quite a bit. So most go, but where does Eddie Dennis fit in all that?
He'd probably be somewhere between Lambert. He'd be right below Lambert.
Number 2, then.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to go number 1, Lambert, of course.
Yeah.
Lambert. Easily. Lou, you're not going to like this. Cover your ears, maybe. It's going to be Lambert has most go away heat.
Yeah. No argument there.
Waller. Waller is number 2.
Wow.
Yeah, I really don't like him on my TV. Corbin's number 3. House of Torture number 4, and Amos number 4, and House of Torture number 5. House of Torture makes me laugh. I don't mind seeing them on my TV because they just make me laugh. Yeah. But it's honestly it's Lambert and then a really wide margin.
Yeah.
And then everybody else.
Yeah. Yes.
For me it's actually Lambert is in his own category. Corbin and Waller are in their own category. Amos I don't mind. House of Torture I'm happy to see. They are prime Bullet Club for me. If somebody says, what's the best Bullet Club? Cody, Kenny and the Elite, Balor and them, or House of Torture, between all of them, it's House of Torture is prime Bullet Club.
M. Xavier asks, who is this guy Larson is talking about? That's Eddie Dennis?
Oh, Eddie Dennis, yeah.
He's on NXT UK. For whatever reason, nothing personal against the guy. I just don't like seeing him on my television.
Wow. I don't get why. He's so charismatic.
No, I don't think he is. I think he's the exact opposite of that.
He's very charismatic.
No, and I can't stand how he does his promos.
Oh, yes, they're great. Let's see here. Nemo says, it was once said that Vince does so many recaps because he runs the show thinking that everyone is a new viewer. Yeah, I think I've heard that too.
Yeah.
Do you think WWE would be must-watch if they did 0 recaps? If you missed it, you missed out mentality. Here's the thing. That's what YouTube is for. Like, that's the entire premise of wrestling. I didn't get it. It didn't help me get into wrestling. Recaps didn't help me I still got into wrestling when they did way fewer recaps. You just dive in and you let it take you where you're going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the recaps. To a degree, I understand why they think they might be a good idea if someone's flipping through the channels and something cool happens early in the show and they happen to flip onto USA while a recap's happening. Like, oh, this is neat. What's happening?
Yeah.
As opposed to turning it on during the middle of a match where they might be completely lost in terms of what the story is.
Mm-hmm.
If you see Brock Lesnar doing something crazy and during a recap during the show, you're like, oh, okay, maybe I'll stick around and check this out. The problem isn't that they have recaps, is that they have way too many of them.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they need to pick and choose.
Yeah.
They need to be more selective with it.
And I actually... I feel like the recaps for what happened in previous weeks is more of an issue for me as opposed to recaps of what happened during the show. Because, as I mentioned, I feel like recaps what happened during the show, they're trying to get people that are just going through the channels and try to get them to watch.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I understand the purpose of that, and I understand the purpose of recaps. Like, to recap storylines could be important too, but as someone who watches all their programming on a regular basis, that's what I find that way more irritating.
Yeah.
Because, I know all this already.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, the purpose of each is the same. I understand that, but
I'll be honest,
the latter irritates me more than the former.
For me, when something cool happens, like Brock using the forklift, great, replay it.
Yeah,
go ahead. There's a cool moment. They used to do that with Austin. Something cool would happen, replay that shit. But my God, everything has a recap.
Yeah,
and recaps have recaps.
Yeah, and it's too much.
It is too.
That's
much.
way too much.
Yeah. Let's see here. Here we go. Moses opposes. With that beautiful bald cap from Owens, which active wrestlers would look good with a bald head? We'll end on this one. I mean, I've done plenty bald with mustaches. Like, I think Finn doesn't have a lot going on up there anyways. Finn would look cool with a bald head.
Mm-hmm. Like Orton. Orton's basically,
we've seen that. Off. Yeah. Who with long, like with Seth? I don't know if Seth would look great with bald head.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't think he'd look great with a bald head. Roman might actually look kind of cool. I don't know if he'd look cooler than he does because he's got a great head of hair.
He does.
But Roman with the bald head, he might look kind of cool.
Yeah, that might be cool. That could be cool.
Yeah, that could be neat.
That could be neat.
And Matt agrees. He says Roman also. Cool. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for us. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow with our NXT 2.0 recap.
Yep.
Tonight over at twitch.tv/MFSteve here at 7 Pacific, I will be doing some more My Rise WWE 2K22 with Steve Thunder, King Thunder. He won King of the Ring, Larson. Very exciting stuff. So be sure to go follow over there. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.